Hey everyone, it's Jess and this is the Beez Knits Podcast. To all my returning viewers, much thanks. Thank you for coming back. I love seeing that you guys come back. If you're a new viewer, thank you. Come join us, join our group, and just enjoy the knitting fun that I have been trying to share with you. General housekeeping notes. If you want to find me, I'm on Ravelry as Betsy Boom. We have a Beez Knits Podcast group on Ravelry. And I am on Instagram. I'll put all the relevant links in the description box. Also, show notes will be in the Ravelry group. If you have any questions about anything I talk about, you can ask me over there. And check out the notes before you even ask me. I might have the answer for you. To get things started, I will share my beverage with you, because that's the thing people like. How great is this unicorn mug, by the way? And today, we are drinking Zenith's Gypsy Tea Earl Green Tea. Top tier Sencha green tea blended with bergamot and roses. And here is the canister, if you would like to see it. And in it is green tea, lemon peel, ginger root, rose petals, and natural bergamot flavor. If you can find this, markdown, worth a try. Full price, not my favorite tea, wouldn't pay, I think it was $5 for this, which I guess isn't really expensive, but I like other teas better. But it's not bad. So that's what I'm drinking, on and off. I'm going to try to actually talk slower and take occasional beverage breaks to keep everything going well. I don't really have any housekeeping stuff this week. The only thing is I'm trying to record this on the other side of my camera. I'm trying to fix the editing issue and the sound issue because last week's video sound problem drove me insane. I was so frustrated after recording 4 times and editing 3 different videos and keep trying that I gave up and I posted it, and I'm sorry that it was not the best. I'm going to try to make it better. I just felt like I kept trying to get this stuff out and it wasn't working, and I just wanted to get it out and be done with it and then move on. So that's that. Let us begin with no finished objects. Here is, we'll share you the first one, my Rye Sock by Tin Can Knits. And if you remember from the last podcast, I was through all of this. And so I've done from this marker to the toe. That's what I did while trying to finish editing it again, the podcast. And then I picked up and started my second one, which is right here. So I am almost in the same spot, I think, that I was when I started editing the last one. And normally, had I not had any other projects going, I would have finished these within a week. These are a quick knit, a fun knit, and an easy knit. What else can I say about these? This is my second pair of Rye socks. I'm wearing, actually, my first pair right now because it is a little cool. It was 54 degrees this morning when I woke up at about 7 o'clock this morning, and it is 10 o'clock now, so it has warmed up a touch. But also it's not very sunny out, so it's not super warm, which is why I'm also wearing a sweater. And this sweater I am wearing, I also have made. It's I think it's pronounced Miette sweater by Andy Soderland. I also don't know that I'm saying her name right. I will link everything important in the show notes. It is a worsted weight cardigan. That's a free pattern that she offers. If you've never made a cardigan but you want to, and you want to make one for, your human-sized self and not for a baby, I would suggest for sure this pattern. Because you can do it with or without the eyelets. You can do it with or without the body shaping. So you get to learn, some shaping techniques and a couple little embellishments if you want, while making yourself a nice sweater in the process. It was a well-written pattern, and I would happily pay money for one of her other patterns, which I've been trying to decide which one I want to get, and I'm thinking the Chuck one, because that one just keeps calling out to me. But what color should I make it in? Please help me. What color would you make a check sweater in if you haven't made one yet? Or if you have, what color did you make one in? Please help me. I want to make one, but I can't decide. Back to the socks. So what I like about these is the garter panel. It's not complicated, and you could easily do this without looking at notes. You know, like you don't have to always check or count. I'm just obsessive about it because I do my socks separately instead of two at a time. And the pattern is easy. You can have it memorized and like that. The heel is easy. The hardest part about the whole socks is probably picking up stitches if you've never done that, and Kitchener's stitch on the toe if you've never done that. And so I feel like this is the perfect beginner sock because it's not even a plain sock. You won't get bored while doing it because you have this garter panel in the center of the top of the sock. And this is the yarn that I'm making it in. Oh, there's a hair on it. I'm sorry. This is the Bernard Baby Sport Ombres in funny print, I think. And if you remember last podcast, I was talking about how I just had so much of this stuff and I was trying to find a way to use it. And I did. I'm thinking socks and mittens to get rid of all this stuff that I'm not going to finish using for anything else in particular. Because if you remember, I was saying how when I first started, I did not understand how much yarn I needed for projects. And I have a whole tote of yarn that I don't have any idea what I want to do with it. So I'm trying to figure out gifts that I can make for people and things I could just do to really clear out the stash. I don't like having a lot of yarn. I feel really guilty about it. So now that, you know, my guilt is out there, because if you knew me in person, you know that one of my normal states of being is just guilty. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm always feeling bad or guilty about something. Maybe it's because I was raised Roman Catholic. Take it how you will. My next whip is the So Faded Pint Size by Andrea Mowry. And let me grab the yarns real quick because I don't think that I showed you the last one because I think it was drying or had to be dyed up at the time. But here we go. These are the colors I picked and that I dyed up for it myself. This top one, the green one, is called Savannah. This pink one's working title is Drunk or Drunken Cow. Also looking forward to other naming suggestions. Also, I thought about calling it Holy Cow. That's up to you. What do you think? This is a new one that I do not think I was able to share with you. And this I think I'm going to call Freeze Pop. Unless you can think of something better for it. I would love to hear it. I'm terrible at naming stuff. So those are the yarns that I had picked to do my fade. And can you see this whole little sweater? It is so tiny. I can't imagine, you know, someone fitting into this ever. And I can't imagine anyone's arms are tiny enough to fit in this tiny little sleeve. It's so small. Look at that. I can't even. So I'm hoping that when I finish the other sleeve, I can go to my friend's and try this on her daughter, and I'm hoping it fits. I'm hoping she's not too big, because she is a tiny little bean, but I'm concerned that she may have grown because I wanted to make something. So this is what I'm working on. I obsessively knit on this the entire weekend. I didn't even touch my socks. And if you must know, which I'm sure you would like to know, from, let me hold this up. Okay. From the start to here was all one day. And then I did the rest of the body and started the sleeve another day. And I finished the sleeve yesterday. And then I got these sleeves off of the waist yarn and onto needles. And that's as far as I've gone on the second one. I gave myself like a little break on that. I'll probably finish the sleeves this week. That's my goal. I'd like to get that done this week. And I'd like to finish those socks this week. That's my plan for the week, is to finish those two projects. And then after that, my real plan is to rip out the sleeve on Nate's sweater re-pick up the stitches, re-knit as far as I've gotten, and keep going. Because I'd like to get that sweater done before the end of September so that he can wear it when it gets cold. That's my goal. On to stash enhancement related items. I only have 2 stashy things we'll call it 3 stashy things to show you. One is a gift for my mom's birthday. If you know, I've been talking about it every week because I've been planning and gathering and such. Because if I didn't say, she's turning 60. And 60 has been like the big year around here. I threw a surprise party for my mother-in-law. I threw a huge party for my dad. And now this year is my mom. She doesn't want a party, so we're going to take her out to dinner. And I'm going to give her this little kind of knitting kit that I think she would enjoy. So I made her these stitch marker, progress keeper. Guys, there we go. Can you see those? Her favorite color is blue. I'm pretty sure she's going to love these. That is all I have to say about that. I mean, these took like a second to throw together because all I did was buy charms, put them on a clasp. But I think that they're really pretty. One of them, if I can show you, reminds me of the planet Jupiter. Do you see the red spot on it? Do I have it facing the right way? Can you even see it in focus? I don't know. I kind of wanted to keep it for myself, but I thought that was the mark of a good gift. Giving away something you want to keep for yourself. So I've got her those little stitch guys. I, of course, purchased myself a few more, which I'll just show you quickly. I bought one set of other Halloween ones, and then I bought a set of cameras. So let me share with you. Ugh. Here are the cameras, if you can see them. It came with 2 larger ones, but they are big and heavy, so I probably won't really use them for that kind of thing. And I'll probably put them on like a necklace or like a bracelet or something. I'll find something else to do with them. And then I got, if you can see, these Halloween ones. So you've got a crystal ball. You've got these little hands here that have like a palmistry map on them. These little tarot cards, and then just a little star. So I've got all of these stitch marker, progress keeper kind of things. I am basically set for life, which makes me happy. I also bought myself a new toy, which was one of these clicky stitch counters. And it's not that the most satisfying sound, and the feedback on the click is also very satisfying. So I cannot wait to use this on a project. It just feels satisfying. That's all the new acquirements. Those are all the new things in which I have acquired within the past week. Also, did I say, I might not have earlier, that I was trying to record. Is that acceptable to say trying to? Like I'm trying to try something? Is that, I don't know. I'm trying to record weekly now. I'm thinking that it would be a quicker podcast and that I would have to do less editing all at once and that maybe smaller doses would be better than like a huge amount every other week or whatever. So I'm going to try the weekly thing. Let me know what you think. I won't have as much to share, so it should be a shorter podcast in that respect. I don't know. We'll try and we'll see. Let me know what you think. The next thing is knitting plans. Other than finishing all my whips that I've shared with you, my only other knitting plans is to knit maybe a couple more rise socks or mittens or fingerless gloves for Christmas gifts. And then I want to make a sweater for myself. I am thinking of a worsted weight sweater because it would be faster. And sometimes I get a little lazy on the big projects. Plans. I want to make a sweater. There you go. I was thinking about maybe making like the Chuck sweater, making a worsted weight still faded sweater for myself. I was thinking maybe making, I don't know, just, I want a sweater. What are your favorite sweater patterns that you've done or want to make? Like, what is your ideal fall slash probably mostly winter? So we'll call it let's try again. What would your ideal Thanksgiving and or Christmas sweater be? Because that's probably when it would be done. Somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It would probably be a Christmas sweater to go with my Christmas socks, which are my Hermione's everyday socks. Okay, back on track. The only other thing that I'm seriously contemplating starting to knit for myself is the Wendy's pullover knitted sweater from Interweave Knits Summer 2013 magazine. I saw it on Once Upon a Corgi. She was wearing it, and I have always thought to myself that knitted t-shirts basically were the stupidest thing. And I think that's because when I was a little kid in like the late 90s, it was really popular to have these really strange knitted t-shirt sweaters. And I always felt like, what is the point of a sweater that is a t-shirt? But I don't even care because that is adorable and I have to have it. I saw it on her and I was like, where did you buy this? Did you make this? How did you make this? Because obviously I'm super behind on podcasts, so if she ever talked about making it in an earlier podcast, I haven't seen it yet. So she said what the sweater was, and I gotta make one. She made hers in yellow with a purple color, and I'm thinking that I will make whatever color I make with a contrast color because I'm loving that look. That is for sure one of the things I love. So, thinking about that, what color would you make one? I would like to know. When I tried to watch The Elephant in the Living Room on Tubi TV, I had issues with it not loading either the commercials correctly or not loading the video correctly after the commercial break was over. So I thought I would just play, kind of a junky movie in the background that I didn't have to pay attention to so that I could just watch the commercials and see if they loaded correctly. I just clicked on a random movie that I thought would be kind of junky just to watch and just, so I could know that there was a movie playing and then see how the commercials went. And I picked The Beautician and the Beast, which was like a 1990 whatever movie with Fran Drescher. And I was like, this can't be good. Also, it was almost 2 hours, I think, which was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And I got sucked into this stupid movie. I was a huge fan of The Nanny when I was a tiny child. I loved it. I don't know if I would like it as much when I'm older. I feel like a lot of the things I liked when I was a kid don't seem as cool the second time around. But I used to love The Nanny. And so Fran Drescher is like the greatest actress in this movie, which is so ridiculous. The basic premise of the movie is that a beauty school teacher has a mishap in her classroom and ends up being like a local hero. And so this imaginary Eastern European country, their president is looking for a Western teacher to teach his children. And so they see her as being like the greatest teacher in the world. So he sends someone to go bring her over. She gets offered the job and she goes. And she doesn't realize she's supposed to be like a regular teacher in school. Like she's supposed to teach history and math and all that. She thought that they needed like a beauty school teacher there. So she goes and then she finds out the whole gig. And there's, the general like 90s hijinks ensue. And it was surprisingly cute. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I got sucked into it. And if you're looking for something goofy and lighthearted to watch, that's a good movie and you should check it out. The other movie that I watched, Nate and I watched it last night. We got ourselves some Mexican food from Rio Grande in Liverpool. If you're in the Liverpool, New York area, or the surrounding areas ever, check them out. Ever since they've opened, they've been super busy. The food has been consistently good, and I know they recently got their liquor license finally, so you can actually drink with your Mexican food now. And they make tons of different kinds of what I'm assuming is authentic Mexican food. I don't know how legit Mexican authentic food would be in central New York, so either way, it doesn't matter if it's authentic, it tastes good. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the area. Everyone's very nice, and the food is tasty, and the pricing is totally legit. So we got ourselves the combo, which I love, and it comes with, and no, we did not eat it all at once. This is 2 meals for 2 people. So we get 2 dinners and we get 2 lunches out of it, which is a crazy amount of food for like $18. You get 1 chili relleno. I don't know that I say any of this stuff right. You get a burrito, you get an enchilada, you get a taco, you get, what else do you get? You get chips and salsa, you get rice, you get refried beans, and you get like, it's not a chalupa, I don't think is what they call it. Maybe it is. But it's a tortilla that has like avocado salad on the top, I think is what it is. It's kind of sold as like 2 different items, but it's, you get your tortilla and you've got your beans on it, and your lettuce and your guacamole and your tomato. And so we eat half of it for dinner, and then the next day we eat the other half for another meal. And it is really good. And I have not had it in a long time, and it's what I wanted to do for my birthday, but then I ended up wanting Indian food instead, so we went to our normal Indian place to get takeout. Because, yes, we have specific restaurants that we go to, and I'm, like, very particular about it when I find a restaurant I really like. Anyways, so we got our dinner, we came home, we sat down to watch a movie, and we decided to watch The Shrine, which came out in 2010, and I'm squinting because I'm trying to read from behind the phone to my laptop. It's rated on Rotten Tomatoes as a 34%, which is terrible. And that's like the audience review. They don't have any critic / people submitted reviews, I think. It counts as a horror / mystery and suspense movie. Let me read you the synopsis really quick. After a young American backpacker goes missing in Europe, a group of journalists link his disappearance to a remote village in Poland. They travel there hoping to get the story, but as they unravel the secrets behind the mysterious village, they are suddenly pursued by hostile locals. Unable to escape, they soon become the next victims of the ritualistic human sacrifice. Forced into the gruesome reality of true survival horror, the journalists will discover that the village hides a much darker secret than they could ever imagine. I'm going to say this right now. I would not recommend you watch it. I have a few, I feel, legitimate complaints about it. I did not like that probably a quarter of the movie there are the local people speaking in Polish and there are no subtitles. And it drives me nuts. Because I know they're speaking Polish, I know they're in Poland, and I can catch a few words here and there, but I don't know what they're saying. And I hate when you don't know what people are saying. I feel like it drives me nuts. And I'm sure maybe they did it because they wanted you to be as in the dark as these journalists were. I don't know. It's just a personal thing that I hate. I also felt like the first hour of the movie is a total waste of your time. The end is where it picks up, and the end was good. But it was not good enough to recommend the movie to anybody. Because by saying it was good, I meant that it was, like, good. I got a little, like, you know, you get how you get sucked into certain parts. And you get, like, a little sucked in because the action and, like, the story picks up at the end. But the entire build-up is so slow, and you're, like, trudging through mud trying to get somewhere. It was work, and I didn't want it to be work. So I would not recommend that movie to you. Watch at your own risk, if you want to watch it. I remember seeing the preview and really wanting to watch it, so I'm a little disappointed on that one. Let's see. We finished watching Gravity Falls. We watched all 3 episodes of Weirdmageddon, and holy crap, that that TV show is so good. If you have not seen Gravity Falls, especially if you have Hulu, drop whatever you're doing and go watch it. It is cute. It's funny. It's heartfelt. It's strange in the best possible way. Smart, clever, off the wall. You need to watch this TV show if you haven't. It's 2 seasons. You can invest the time in that. I know you can. They're only half-an-hour episodes. No, I cannot say enough about how you should watch Gravity Falls and Bob's Burgers. Also, for those of you who told me to watch Stranger Things, I watched the first episode of Stranger Things last week. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. We'll see how I feel when it gets going. Also, I've listened to many more episodes of the My Favorite Murder podcast that Stacey Elstone from Stress Knits was talking about. She's obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. Maybe you could be obsessed with it. I'm not a huge fan of their banter as much as I love hearing the stories about murder. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me weird? Check it out if you're interested in, serial killers, true crime, unsolved murders, all that stuff that I talked about last week. Check it out. Let me know what you think of it. Are you also a murderino now? Tell me. Last but not least, video games. I forgot last week to tell you we finished playing Wild Arms 2. And we started playing Cave Story after we did that. And by we, I mean Nate played both of those ones. I just sat and watched and knit. Cave Story, we played with the remastered soundtrack on. That music is so good! If you like platformers, and you have somewhere between 6 to 8 hours in your general life, you don't have to do it all at once, to play it, give it a go. It's on Steam. I don't remember how much it costs, but I feel like it's worth whatever it costs. It's cute. The story is pretty dark for how cute the music is. It's really fun. It looks like a game that I would also have fun playing, and I'm not good at platformers, but I love to play them. So there's that. After we finished playing Cave Story, I finally felt that I was allowed to play a game again, because if you don't remember, I said that it took me 9 months to beat Final Fantasy VI because I played and then I just stopped. And I stopped for months because I was frustrated with it. So I felt like after getting through that, I was ready to start playing games again. And I picked up Puzzle Agent 2. I played the original Puzzle Agent game as well. It's a point-and-click adventure game. You play as an FBI agent as part of the puzzle division. And it's so stupid in that respect. And the puzzles occasionally are very difficult for me, but I'm also not a very puzzle-minded person in that way, and I'm not great at puzzles. But the story on the game hits me in every way. I like the drawing style, works for it. The general, overall vibe is perfect. What I can say, without giving away any of it, is that it's like Fargo is mixed with an episode of The X-Files. It's perfect. And also, it really makes me want to move out to Minnesota. Is that a normal thing? Also, if any of you live in Minnesota, is it great there? Should I put that on my list of places to vacation at, to visit / move to? Let me know. I always have, that little mental list going. So I don't want to give anything away in case you do it. And also, I know it's based off a Grickle book series, I think it was what it was. I'll look it up, I'll Google it, I'll put it in the show notes for you. I want to try to find one of the books and read it. I think the guy who wrote the book actually worked on the game. Maybe he created the game. I can't remember now. But I love them, and I wish there was another Puzzle Agent game, but it's been many years, and I don't know that we'll ever get another one. Let's see. So I finished Puzzle Agent. I played it in 3 to 4 hours in one night. I stayed up late that night by accident because I knew it was a short game and I felt like I was close to the end. So I just did the last 45 minutes and then I tried to sleep in and only got up at 9:30. I was tired the next day after staying up as late as I did. And so because I finished that, one more video game to talk about really quick is we just started, not yesterday, but the night before, Star Ocean First Departure, which is the PSP remake of Star Ocean. Visually, it's very interesting. I did not realize there'd be as many, we'll call them cutscenes, as there are. And by that I mean sections in which there is no gameplay, but there's a lot of talking. And I don't know what you would call it when it's not actually a cutscene. Do you know what it's called? Am I just crazy? So there was a lot of that. I feel like there was a half an hour of that last night. Other than that, though, I mean, the game seems interesting. The battle system is not what I thought it was going to be. The story so far is good. I don't believe that I'm giving anything away by saying there's a planet that gets hit by a bioweapon from another planet, and you get like these flu-like symptoms. It gets transmitted through just casual touching, and then within 3 days after it's been incubated, you turn into stone. So that's, as far as we've gotten, is basically people are sick, they turn into stone. We want to help fix them. Crazy space and time travel stuff ensues now. So we shall see what happens. We are currently 300 years in the past. That's right. Also, we're 300 years in the past on a planet that we've never been to before, because it's not Earth, it's some other place. That's all I'll give you on that. I don't want to give it away, plus we haven't played that much yet. I'm optimistic about this game. I'm thinking I'm gonna like it. I don't know how long it is. I think it's probably about 40 hours. I find a lot of the games, 40 hours is pretty average. It's also weird talking about how many hours you spend on either a TV show or a video game or something. Or even knitting when you think about how long it takes to do something. So now that I have finished my tea, and I finished talking about everything I think I have on the list, I think we're good. So, again, you can catch me on Instagram, Ravelry. We have a Ravelry group. We can be friends. You can message me if you have any questions. I will get the show notes up soon. I didn't get them done ahead of time because I'm lazy. I don't know. Just because I didn't. It'll be up within like a couple hours. So, not an issue. Let me know if you like the shorter episode and answer any of the other questions I asked, because I can't remember. I feel like I ask a lot of questions. I like feedback in general. So, sorry, I'm going to stretch now. I think that's everything. I feel like I should talk about something else, but that's it. I guess we're done. We'll see you guys next week. Bye!